Now, if you remember that discussion when we were doing our custom layout panels, the arrange command allows me to move objects around within a layout container. So now that I know where my mouse cursor is, I'm going to rearrange the position of my marker. So let me go ahead and create a new rect. And let's set the values on the rect. First, I need to set the X. And I want to keep the center of my marker even with the mouse pointer. If the mouse pointer is, say, 200 pixels from the left of the canvas, if I put the X of my rectangle at 200, I'd end up with my marker at the left edge. I want to center it, so the X of my new marker position needs to be the cursor position dot X minus this dot marker actual width divided by 2. So I'm going to take the width of my marker, let's say it's 30 pixels wide, divide that in half to get 15, figure out where my mouse cursor is, and I'm going to place my marker 15 pixels to the left of it, which will put the center right at my mouse pointer. I'm going to do the same thing with the Y. And then the width and height of my new rectangle, I'm just going to use the actual width and actual height of my marker. So new marker position dot width is equal to this dot marker dot actual width, and new marker position dot height is equal to this dot marker dot actual height. Now all I need to do is say this dot marker dot arrange and give it the new marker position. Let me save this, switch back over to Blend, and press F5. Now, wherever I move my mouse pointer, my marker stays with it, and I can go wherever I want. Now there's an interesting thing happening here. My canvas only goes so far out onto my artboard. However, if you remember, my canvas doesn't stretch this far over onto the screen. How could I possibly be getting the mouse move events that are on my canvas when I'm this far over? The reason for that is that the ellipse is a child of the canvas. Since the canvas doesn't clip its contents, that means that any of the children of the canvas can be displayed anywhere in my application. Also, since my mouse cursor is constantly over the marker, which is a child of the canvas, the event goes through the marker and over to the canvas, so everything continues to be connected. So as I move around, my marker stays with me. Now let's do something else. I'm going to close my application here. I still have my marker board activated, and I want to add a button to the marker board. I'm going to press F5, and you'll notice that my marker this time hasn't moved to where my cursor is. As soon as I enter the canvas, now that first move event happens, the marker is moved to my cursor point, and now that the two are stuck together, I can move outside the bounds of the canvas. This is just another illustration of what I was talking about a moment ago. Now, since I created the button after the ellipse, when I move over the button, my marker slides behind it, and the button gets its yellow outline, which is its mouse over state. But I don't want my marker to slide under the button, I want it to stay on top. So let me fix that quickly. That's done easily enough just by dragging the marker on top of the button. There we go. Now my marker here jumped into the button. I made a mistake when I drew there. I just released it when I was over the button, and since the button has a content presenter, it actually grabbed the marker and pushed it into it. Whenever you're dragging and dropping around in the timeline, I'm going to press Ctrl-Z real quick to undo that. Make sure you pay attention to where the dark line is that indicates where your drop target will be. So as I drag my marker downward, the line above the word button indicates I'm going to drop in Z order above the button, and when it disappears, this indicates that it's going to be dropped into the button. Let me keep moving downward, and when the gray line appears below the button, that means it'll keep it in the same parent, but it's just going to reorder it as opposed to dropping it into. Now let me press F5, and sure enough, my marker goes over my button. But now I've got another issue I need to resolve. If you notice, now when I enter the button doesn't get the yellow highlight that indicates that I'm about to click it. And in fact, when I click my mouse button, the button isn't clicking. The click is hitting my marker instead of going all the way down to the button. Well, let's see how we can fix that next.